Howdy again, AdWords fans, and welcome to Chapter 3 of Up and Running with Google AdWords. So we're going to start off with creating our first AdWords account. Now we're going to start completely from scratch as if you've never been inside an AdWords dashboard before. Now many of you probably have been inside an AdWords dashboard, in which case you could run through this quicker, but it's always good to have a refresher course in case you need to open up your account again or open up a new account. So prerequisites, we need to have a Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account yet, you head over to gmail.com, and it's extremely simple and straightforward to create your Google Gmail account. That's Google email. You'll need that account to create your AdWords account. Now we want to get to the AdWords sign-in page, and there's a few different ways we could do that. We could search for AdWords in the Google search box, and we can click on the first organic result. We could also just go to AdWords.com up here, and that's going to redirect us to google.com/AdWords, and it's also adwords.google.com. It's the same thing. Now this page we see here, this landing page, is going to change frequently, and Google does update the design and the look of this page and where some of the information on this page is, but essentially you want to look for the Start Now button. If you're signing into your account that you already have open, you'll go to Sign In up here in the upper right hand corner, but you just go ahead and click Start Now, and that's going to take us to the first login screen. Now, Google recently developed this guided setup system. It's a configuration system geared towards the beginner who doesn't really need to utilize all the aspects of these settings at the account level, but we want to do things the right way. We're going to be more advanced and thoughtful marketers, so we're going to click this option, Skip the Guided Setup. And that will take us to the traditional configuration page where we first set up our email. So I created an email account specifically for this video, and that email is up and running with ga@gmail.com. Okay, now country. It's important to have the right country selected because Google is going to determine currency and a number of other settings by the country. So whatever your country you're in, you select your country over here. I'm in the United States, so I'll leave that at the default. Now time zone is also important. Time zone is only configured once. It's very difficult to have Google switch your time zone once the account's already been created, so make sure you set the correct time zone here. Time zone is important because if you set a custom ad schedule and you set your ads to run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., for example, that's going to run on the time zone you set here. So I'm in New York, so I'll be looking for Eastern time, and my currency is the US dollar. So over here, it's very simple settings. Your email address that you want to have associated with the account, your country, time zone, and currency, and then we'll click Save and Continue. Next, if you're not already logged into your Gmail account, Google's going to ask you to log in. I will type in the password. Now you might skip the screen if you're logged in already, which is fine. So we're now in the first main page inside our AdWords account. Believe it or not, we've created an account already. Our AdWords account has been created. Now what we need to do is create our first campaign. But before we talk about campaigns, we want to talk a little bit more about campaign theory, what should be included in a campaign, some of the more commonly asked questions, and things of that nature. But if you got into this page, you are now inside your campaign and you've successfully created your first AdWords campaign. So congratulations. If you want to access some account settings, this gear icon is going to be very important. This gear icon is going to show you, it's going to direct you to billing, to account settings, linked accounts. So for example, if you link your account to other accounts, if you give somebody else admin access to your account so they can manage, they can take a look at things, that would be done through linked accounts, sending feedback to Google Help and Support. And the two main areas we're going to be focusing on is billing and account settings. Billing is where you set up your payment profile. We'll cover that in a future chapter. And account settings are going to have a lot of the settings that you want to configure at the account level, and we're going to cover all of those settings in detail. This is your customer ID number over here. This 10-digit customer ID number is important to know. You should write it down. It's going to be the identifier when you call into Google or Google support is asking you some questions or you need help with something. This customer ID number is going to be very important. It's also going to be important when it comes to linking your Google AdWords and analytics accounts, and we're going to talk about that in a future chapter as well. This little bell is your notifications. you'll be throughout your experience with AdWords, and as you're managing campaigns and creating keywords and ad groups and creating custom schedules, you're going to tend to get a bunch of notifications. Most of them are frankly a little bit annoying, but some of them are actually really helpful, and you want to keep an eye out for them. Over here we could have a step-by-step guide that will walk us through some of the basic system, some of the basic settings. I'm going to dismiss that for now, and once you dismiss a setting, it goes away. Just click outside of the box. Up here in the main menu bar, you'll see some additional pages that you can navigate to. There's tools, reports, opportunities, campaigns, and home. We're going to be spending the bulk of our time under campaigns. Now, this campaigns tab, as we're going to see soon, doesn't just mean campaigns. This is where we're going to navigate to our ad groups, our keywords, our ads, our negative keywords, our shared libraries with our negative keyword lists and our shared budgets, and we'll talk all about that stuff soon. The opportunities, reports, and tools tab we'll be spending less time in, but we will be navigating through a lot of these options here in the tools drop-down menu, like the change history tool, and especially like we were talking about in the introduction video, the ad preview and diagnosis tool. So we'll be looking at that a lot also. But for now, this is your account. This is your welcome page. You've created your first account, and now in the next video we'll talk about creating our first campaign, and we will really get the ball rolling as we pick up some speed here. So great job, guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon in chapter 4. Talk to you soon.